glad to see you. We're kicking off a brand new month here at First United Methodist Church, and there's something I'd like to know before we get started. Raise your hand if you love candy. Me too. I remember when I was a kid, my grandpa would take me to the local candy shop and I could fill up a bag with all of my favorites. Personally, I would pick the lollipops and anything that was chocolate covered. I loved that I could pick out my own unique mix, just for me. It was my own custom creation. And you know what? You and I are custom creations too. When God made each one of us, He gave us our own individuality. And He did it for a reason. Our story today starts at the very beginning of the Bible, in the book of Genesis. In Genesis, we read how God created the world. In the beginning, there was nothing. Then, out of nothing, God made everything. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God created the oceans. There we go. God also made the land, mountains and forests, and He made all the plants that covered the land, tiny flowers, giant trees, and lush jungles. God created the sun, moon, and stars. God created birds and fish and all the other animals too. God had made an amazing and beautiful world. But God wasn't finished. Can you guess what God created last? Yes, people. Adam and Eve. People have always been extra special to God. Let's look in the book of Genesis to find out why. God created human beings in His own likeness. He created them to be like Himself. He created them as male and female. Unlike anything God had created so far, people were special to God because we were made in His image. Now, that doesn't mean that we look exactly like God, but it does mean we can show what God is like with the way we live every day. We have the ability to feel joy and compassion for others. We can think creatively to solve tough problems. We can do things that God made us to do with our own unique skills, talents, and personalities. God created each of us to show love to the world through our individual personalities. God made us in His image so we can make a difference in the world around us. So how do we do that? How do we use the way God made us to make a difference for other people? Well, let's think about that. Let's say God created you with the ability to draw really well. How could you use your drawing skills to make a difference for someone else? How about if you have lots of energy and you love to run, jump, and play? How could you use the way God made you to help someone else? What if God made you to be a good listener? How could you use your individuality to make a difference for someone else? God made each of us in His image. That means we can use our individuality to show God's love. With God's help, you can discover lots of different ways to show love to others. As you grow up, you'll see more and more how God can use you in a unique and special way to make a difference for other people. Remember, God made everything that lives on the earth and all the stars in the sky. But God created us to be like Him. We were made in God's image, so we can show who God is. And so we can use our individuality to share God's love with others. When you brush your teeth tonight, or when you get ready in the morning, I want you to look in the mirror. That boy or girl looking back at you was made in the image of God. God made you completely unique and special. You were made on purpose so you can show God's love to others. And there's no one else out there who can do that exactly like you can. Thanks for joining us.